Karl Marx has a very famous idea of what he calls as materialism. He says first the world changes, then the intellectual world changes.
That which is not written between the lines is the most important. What is the thrust of this project?
Is it possible for 20% of the city to determine policies for the whole city? Is it possible for a very small minority to tell everyone how they should be doing things and how they should be behave? And has anyone even taken the opinion of these 70%? And the point is very unlikely that their opinion has been taken because they don't really figure as power players. But it is a matter of time before that happens. See buildings in a variety of stages of construction, or you are going to see buildings which are completed. The important thing to know is that most of these buildings will not be the same, but I am sure they will be similar.
In the entire area of Shivaji Nagar, what we saw, there are 2 or 3 different typologies of units. So if you notice the one where we went to first, it had like an office on ground floor which opens out onto the street, and then the first floor, which probably is the residence, opens out. You've got a staircase from the back of the tertiary street, and then behind that you've got units which are all accessed from the street, and they're ground plus 1 residential units.
It's a notion of self-similarity, which means that things are the same but they are not the same. Okay, or things are different but they are the same. This idea also is something which we can learn from. It actually tells us as architects how adaptive these things can be, and once you learn certain principles from the way that they are building, how adaptive you can be when it comes to designing for yourself.
40 days is like the maximum period that it takes to construct a house from start to end. So from the time you demolish to the time the house is complete is like 35 to 40 days is.
Next thing is structure. Okay, and structure here is interesting because from this point onwards, everything becomes a bit of a hybrid. There is the way you study structure in building construction, there is no linearity of construction. The house is not unconnected to the surroundings. It is very much connected, more deeply embedded in the surroundings than you can imagine, and cannot do without the surroundings.
Are the occupants of the place. If it is a shop, if it is a house, how many occupants? What is the relationship to each other? Is it grandchild, child, son, brother, sister, or there are additional tenants? There can be places given out as additionally to some people at some rent, and what you can call paying guests within the same house.
Most intelligent people use space in an innovative, careful manner. Try to see multiple use of space if there is any, which obviously there will be. When you visit, you may find that a shop is a shop is a shop. But try to find out how does it function in the
Contracting is basically territorial. Okay, so that means that each contractor has his fixed or his fixed road network within which he works and within which his supply chain feeds. So you've got one contractor that would work from road 1 to 4, then another contractor works from road 5 to 8.
And one question could be also is aspirations of the people. They would want to make a house, pakka house, obviously for the reason of security, settlement, staying there long. But there is some kind of a wish, want that they have as their personal aspiration. Then one can ask you whether they get satisfied, the end product or end result, whatever happens.
It's not merely an inventory, but ultimately a subtle understanding of the relationship between the built form, the interior, the lifestyle, the aspirations, the needs, the functions of the people, and how they have been handled.
The lessons you will learn from this, you will be able to put into a larger practice. Not necessarily designing for slums, but designing for everybody. Okay? Because it will make you flexible, adaptable, innovative, think laterally, to be able to make observations which are insightful, to look beyond the obvious.
You don't need to become only an expert in this area. You may flip-flop. You may make the smartest museum in town, and yet you can in your career be involved in this. So it is another dimension which one wants to open up in a professional way, hopefully opening windows to a major need and preoccupation of architects in the years to come.